I invite Assistant Professor Anand Raj to explain you about the practices about having full control about your mind. Okay, so with this I conclude, and you all know Assistant Professor Anand Raj, so I don't need to introduce. Yes, sir, you can go ahead, Anand. I will stop sharing it.
Yeah, good morning, all of you. Be blessed by the divine. Practice makes perfection. Practice makes perfection. I believe everyone will agree with this statement here today, right? Let us take one real life example to believe this statement. We will take one activity of replacing the tire of our car. Few of us might have experienced, right, when we are having a long drive, there could be some incident like tire may get punctured, and mid of the road we have to replace the tire using the spare one. So I need all of you to answer for a question using this chat box. How much is the duration in time required for replacing a car tire? Some of you might have experienced, or some of you might have heard from your friends, or you can make your estimation also. What is the duration required to replace the tire of the car? Yeah, we started seeing some answers. 15 minutes, 1 hour, 30 minutes, 20 to 30 minutes, 30 minutes. Okay, yeah, thank you. Thanks for the answers. 30 minutes, 1 hour. Yeah, based on experience and practice. Yeah, that's right. Okay, in average, we can say that it is like 30 minutes, right? Because that's average time among all the answers. Now, if you take another situation, you're all given an opportunity to get some training on replacing the tire. Okay, just 2 days you are put on the task, you are given all the skills required for replacing a tire, and the training is given to you. After that, you have to replace the same way. Mid of the road, the tire got punctured and you have to replace it. What you all feel? What can be the improved duration when we do this? Okay, to save time, I'll go with 50% of duration, right? We may have some kind of improvement. Like if you are taking half an hour for replacing a car tire earlier, after 2 days of training, we may take 15 minutes to replace a car tire, right? Okay, now if I tell you all that a car tire can be replaced in 2 seconds, will you all believe that? Car tire can be replaced in 2 seconds. Let us watch a video before we go further. Okay, this is just shown to you all to believe that a tire can be replaced in 2 seconds. Okay, with that we will go to the topic of today. Sometime back we talked about the mind, right? Part of step 2, mental wealth. We came to know a lot of concepts like what are all the types of mind and what is the strength of it, what is the significance of that, which adds to our life, the importance of the mind which adds to our life. That is what we have seen. Now we are going to see the practice which is given by our Maharishi to be at peace always, like maintaining the mental wealth in all occasions. So the meditation is a practice which is given by our Maharishi to have the mind in our control. Okay, let us see now what is meditation in general. Okay, it is an effective practice which we all might have heard, it is an effective practice to train the mind by reducing the mind frequency. Sometimes back we have seen that, right? Mind is functioning like a wave, so it has certain frequency. My screen is visible, right?
Yes, yes, yes.
Okay, so the mind is
not the presentation. You are showing some presentation.
Yeah.
No, it was on the car alone. Now I am seeing only your video. You need to. That is why I put a share the screen to unshare. But can you share the PPT? You need to share it again.
Okay. Yeah, I hope it's clear now, right?
So, yeah, now it's come. You can put in the full mode. Yes.
Okay, the first point is talking about reducing the frequency. When the frequency is lower, we will be able to focus more on the things. We will be able to analyze things effectively and to make proper decision making in a better way. So the next one is like helps in increasing the willpower. The willpower will increase by doing the regular meditation. And the next one is talking about enhancing or enlightening the sixth sense. We all have unique quality, right? The human being only has that quality, which is sixth sense. So improving, enhancing the sixth sense is part of our purpose of our life also, because we need to go for that divine realization step, which is the ultimate goal of our life. So for that, we have to enhance the sixth sense. Okay, next, who has to do this meditation? So all the people, whoever needs to achieve the self-realization, or the step 2, what we were talking last week and today, the mental wealth. If that is to be achieved, whoever is willing to achieve that, they have to do the meditation. And the next question about when to do the meditation. This question is put up because many of us has some kind of concept telling that the meditation is for old age thing. Once we get retired, we will start doing that. And now I am very busy and I don't have time for doing such activities in this age. But if you see the human life, between the age of 15 to 40, there are a lot of significant things happening in human life, right? From the physical growth and a lot of mental emotions, spiritual realization, and the growth in overall is happening in this age. Some of the medical literature mentions that after the age of 40, there is no growth happening to the physical health at all. Only the maintenance is going on. So whatever we had so far, so that maintenance will be happening for the remaining part of life. So ideal age to do that meditation, if you are trying to make some kind of improvement for your physical and mental health, ideal age to start the meditation is between 15 to 40. That doesn't mean that we should not start the meditation after 40, but we all know the other concept also, right? Better late than never. So the next one, we have to understand about the importance of meditation. The human life can be said to be a journey towards the goal of self-realization or God realization. We all took this birth with an objective of achieving the self-realization. So if you want to achieve the life's goal, so you need to do the meditation which supports towards that goal. And the next one, yeah, we have talked about this again in the earlier slide also. The sixth sense is the ability to realize the consciousness or the self. So by enhancing the sixth sense, we will be able to realize and continue the journey towards the self-realization or God realization, which is the ultimate goal of our life. And the next one is talking about the consciousness in all human beings seeks the absolute. The consciousness in all human beings seeks the absolute. See, we are all having an understanding that we are part of the whole totality, right? We are a fraction which is originated from the totality. So when you are talking about achieving the self-realization, we should be able to think about the totality and to be one with that. So that should be the aim for us. To understand this concept is very important when we talk about meditation. To understand this concept, Maharishi used to mention a beautiful example from the nature itself. The raindrop will not be idle until it reaches back to the ocean from where it got originated. If you try to store the water in a small container, it keeps applying some pressure on the wall of the container and try to find a gap. If there is any weakness, if there is a small crack also, the water will seep out and travel throughout the path to reach the ocean. Same thing when you store in a bigger size also, like constructing a dam and storing the water in the dam. It keeps applying some pressure on the wall of the dam. Whenever there is a small weak point, it will make a gap and pass through it, seep through it, and reach the ocean. In this same way only, the mind, that is the reason the mind is always wandering and it will not feel peace at all until it turns back or fixed on a non-moving thing, which is the totality. So when that is not done and this is not possible, the mind will become stagnated within the physical body and it will lead towards the sin paths and wrongdoing. That is what happening to most of the human being. This is the importance of meditation also. When the meditation is not practiced, the mind will keep on functioning towards the sensual organs on the external objects. So there will not be any peace felt at all. So it will be leading to wrongdoings also. So next, sometime back we talked about this. So I'll not go in detail. The mind is having 4 ranges of frequencies, because when we call any wave, it has a frequency, right? So these are the 4 ranges of frequencies which we talked sometime back. And here what we need to understand is different meditations supports to achieve different level of frequency ranges. So for example, the first level meditation, Agna meditation, will be able to bring our mental frequency to this level, 8 to 13 cycles per second, which is the alpha wave. And some of the advanced meditation can take us up to 1 to 3 cycles per second, which is delta wave. Okay, what exactly being done when we meditate? We might have heard about this before also. We have 7 chakras in our physical body, which is shown with the location and the names also on the screen in this slide. So there are 7 chakras. Probably we might have talked about one of them in detail, the Muladhara chakra, which is the base chakra when we talked about the physical health, which is step 1 itself. Then we have the next chakra, Swadhisthana and Manipuraha, and 4th one is Anahata, Visuddhi, Agna, and Turiyam. These are the 7 chakras within our physical body. So what we mean exactly by the term chakra? It is like energy center across the length of our spine. There are different locations which has some stored psychic and intuitive energy in potential state. So those energies have to be activated to get some kind of physical or physiological benefits to our physical and mental health. Okay, so what exactly in meditation we are doing is every center has to be energized by focusing on that center. So when that center is energized, so we will be able to get the required benefit of that center's nature. So when we call this the Kundalini energy is being raised, right? Kundalini energy, exactly what we mean is life energy within our body. So we have the life energy. So okay, so these are the 7 chakras which we talked, and when the Kundalini, the life force energy is raised, all the chakras will be in the perfect balance, so that the non-stop ecstasy, which we call it as non-stop happiness, right? The bliss will be always there in all situations in our life. Okay, these energy centers are not just like some imaginary points in our body. Okay, later science proved that all the energy centers are very close to some endocrine glands within our body. That is what the science has proved later on. So if you are taking like, for example, the Manipuraga is very close to the adrenal gland, and Anahata is close to thymus, Visakti is thyroid, Agna is pituitary, and Turiya is close to the pineal gland. So whenever we do the meditation at these chakras, these endocrine glands are getting more and more activated and functioning properly, which adds some kind of complementation to the physical health also. Okay, when we talk about the benefit of meditation, by doing the meditation, the science again supports to have some evidences seen physically, right? That is where we can believe more on the concepts, right? So when the meditation is done, there is some physical things changing in the brain. There are a lot of new connections being opened, and the brain itself looks positively improved after the meditation. So these are the MRI images which are taken before and after meditation, which shows some significant changes in the physical appearance of the brain itself, which shows that there is some effect happening in our brain by meditation. So let us take the traditional way of meditation, how it was in the society before the Maharishi's period. So the meditation, we all know that thousands of years back, people used to do the meditation. So it is a practice which is there in our country, particularly from long years back onwards. So that time, the great sages, the Mahans, used to practice this on regular basis, and they will identify very few people who has the capability as per that belief and who can manage the energy flow and the enhancement. Only those people will be selected and given the opportunity to learn the meditation from the guru. So it is not open for everyone, first thing. And generally, if you compare all kind of meditations, there are 3 kind of methods are used to move the energy between the chakras, whatever we have seen in some slides back. So the first method we can see here is the rhythmic breathing. People used to do a kind of breathing exercise in a rhythmic pattern, which supports the energy movement from one center to another center. So this will be the method being followed in some systems. And the second one is like concentrating on certain objects. So they made some kind of deities or objects to focus on, and then chanting some kind of mantras according to the center which has to be activated. So based on that practice, that center will get activated and they will feel more energy on that center. So this is another method which was followed for meditation. So the third one is about the combination of breathing and physical exercises. This is like kind of applying a heat or induction physically to the certain centers by doing a certain kind of physical exercise and breathing exercises that will be activating that particular center. So that is the way the meditation was being done as part of the third method. So all these 3 methods need a long years of practice because by doing a rhythmic breathing itself, moving the energy physically from one center to one center, another center will take years together. For example, to understand the duration to move the energy from Muladhara to the 6th chakra, which is Agna, the eyebrow center, for achieving that, a 12 years of meditation practice is needed in ancient times. So that was the situation of our society before the Maharishi's period. And moreover, these practices were not meant for women as per the society, because women are going through certain kind of physical body changes on monthly basis. So they were not allowed to practice this Kundalini meditation as per the ancient way of practice. So let us see now what is sky meditation. We have seen this triangle earlier and talked about achieving harmony also. Within ourselves first, when you take the physical body itself, we have body, mind and life force. Those three have to be maintained in harmony. And then externally, when we see other than self, we have a society and the supreme power or nature, which is around us. So we have to maintain the harmony between these two also. So achieving the harmony with all these external or internal factors can be achieved by the sky meditation, which was given by our Maharishi. The sky meditation stands for Simplified Kundalini Yoga Meditation. So as per our Guru, these meditations, when we talk about learning it, it has to be practiced under the guidance of Guru. Because learning it from the books or from others may lead to harmful results. I was mentioning earlier, right, in ancient times, why the meditation was not given to everyone. Because people will not be able to manage the energy flow when it is raised, and some new centers are activated, they will not be able to withstand the new energy activation. So that is the reason we should not be having any kind of physical problems because of doing meditation. So that is the reason following some books and all should not be done for learning the meditation and practicing the meditation. Okay, so physically what will happen in our system, the master will be giving kind of initiation process to the aspirant. Okay, it is not like a magical thing. The master with his own energy, like a magnet, we can take an example, right? The magnet is attracting some parts of particles of iron particles. One piece of iron particles fallen over there. If you take a magnet and collect it, everything can be collected together, right? In the similar way, a master who has the energy activated, he will be able to give the initiation by touching the aspirant and activating his biomagnetism, and the energy will be made felt in Agna. So from Muladhara, the life force is directly moved to Agna. That is the first initiation in our meditation. This is not again some of the new members used to raise question, right? Because the Kundalini meditation, when we talk about in ancient system, it is making years of practice. And how can we feel that in a single day initiation? That will be the question from many of the new members. Here is what I want to recall the video which we have seen in the beginning of this presentation, to believe that the tire of a car can be replaced in 2 seconds. It is not one tire, all 4 tires were replaced in 2 seconds if you follow a systematic practice and adopting a systematic concept with all preparedness. So that is the magic done by our Maharishi in doing this simplified Kundalini yoga practice. So he has gone through all kind of yogasana practices and all kind of meditation techniques available, and he adopted a lot of techniques from the different system, and based on the biomagnetism concept, he simplified and he has given 9 types of meditation in simplified Kundalini yoga, which are listed here. So basically the first 4, Agna, Shanti, Turiya and Turiyatita. These 4 meditations are called as the main meditations, which will be given in stages to all of you when you go for learning the meditation. And we have some special meditations also, which are Panchendriya meditation, Panchabhuta Navagraha meditation, and 9 center meditation, Nityananda meditation, and the divine state meditations. So these are the 9 different meditations which are being taught in our simplified Kundalini yoga practices in a phased manner, okay, not all of a sudden. And yeah, let us see the definition of the sky meditation. Maharishi is giving a beautiful definition for the meditation. meditation is a practice to commune the consciousness with the vast universe. So when we talk about linking our consciousness with the universal consciousness, which is very vast in nature, right? All of a sudden, we will not be able to expand ourselves to that vast level. So that is the reason he has designed the meditation concept also on a staged manner. So first thing what we are trying to do in our meditation is, so the mind, we have seen earlier, right? Mind is always functioning through our sensual organs on the materialistic things or persons around us. So always flowing externally. So we have to turn it inward. So that is the first thing we are doing. Why we are doing that is the life force or life energy is the fraction which is originated from the totality and available within our physical body. So we are trying to focus the life force through our mind as a first stage of meditation. Once you do that, you will be able to get some kind of lowered frequency and some kind of increased willpower, which supports the mind to expand further and imagine and go and get the connectivity of the universal consciousness. So gradually it will be expanded, and in the end, when the dynamic level of the life energy is transcended, the resultant state of the mind is the divine state. So we will be able to realize the divine state within us, and we will be able to reach, which is the part of our life's goal also. So let us see now, whoever not learned the meditation, so how you will be learning the simplified Kundalini Yoga meditation. Once these lockdown conditions are improved and all our centers are open, you can select any one of the center which is nearby to you, and you can go there and you can communicate your interest of the learning the meditation. So once you communicate that, you will be given an initiation on the day one, which is the first stage meditation. Agna initiation will be given. And within a week, the second stage, Shanti initiation, is also given, because Maharishi has given like a proactive practice without having any trouble. Because usually we used to say that after getting a trouble, we will go for remedy, right? So Maharishi has given that because of increased energy to Agna, we should not be ended up with having some kind of heaviness or headache, which can happen to some people. So that is the reason he has given the second level Shanti initiation within a week itself. So once you learn this meditation and practice it on 20 minutes every day, twice daily, and then after a month of practice, you will be given the third level, and according to your progress, the center will advise you for further level meditations also. So all this explanation and benefit of each meditation will be explained when you approach the center before getting the initiation also. So another important concept which is broken by our Maharishi system is the ladies. Because earlier I was mentioning, right, the society was keeping the women away from the Kundalini meditation. So Maharishi has said that ladies also can learn and practice this meditation apart from those 3 days of their monthly periods. So when we talk about the benefits of sky meditation, we have seen some kind of benefits earlier also, right? There is some kind of physical change happening within our brain, which supports a lot of new connectivity. So that improves the analytical capability of us, decision making capability is improved, memory power is improving, and immunity power will increase. These all are the general benefits which can be keep on listed. But mainly when we talk about all this simplified Kundalini Yoga meditation, when we do all kind of meditations, these are the benefits which can be seen by us. Because it is not only the main meditation, we were seeing 5 specialized meditation also listed there in our sky meditation, right? So when you practice all those meditation, we will be able to see all these benefits within us, which are like perspicacity and receptivity, adaptability, magnanimity, and creativity. These are the 5 qualities which we will be seeing within us, which is gradually blooming up, which results on the total transformation of our personality itself. So let us try to understand one by one what it is talking about. The perspicacity, the first one. The perspicacity is like understanding the hidden truth, the hidden facts. we may mention about someone, right? He will be going in and out in that subject. So that is what it is about. So when something is happening, we will be able to think about the background of it, why that is happening, and we will be able to get the exact answer on the right time through our intuition, which is acquired by the meditation itself. So that quality is called as perspicacity. That is like kind of a knowledge level. We will be able to achieve that knowledge level with all the things happening around us. So the next quality is the receptivity. We all know that we have to be on receptive state whenever we go for a new concept or trying to understand a new thing. We have to be having a receptive mind. Then only we will be able to get or grasp the things and then analyze and respond to it. So the receptivity quality will be automatically increasing in us when we do the meditation. The next one is the adaptability. And we all might have gone through this capability in this situation after this COVID-19, right? The life is totally changed for most of us. So the new condition will not be adopted by any people. We cannot go out and we have to be in home all the time. So that has to be naturally be there with us. So that adaptability quality, if it is there, we will be able to accustom to any kind of new situation, which helps us to be comfortable in all situations. So the next quality is about magnanimity. Magnanimity is a kind of high level quality, like being generous with all the people. When you are talking about improving, spiritually progressing in your life and start doing the service to others, we have to see everyone equally, right? Without discriminating based on the nationality or color or the nature of people or the language. Without seeing that differences in people, we have to see everyone as a same, like a common basis. So when we talk about doing service, that quality has to be there with all of us. So that magnanimity will be increased by doing all these meditations. And the last one we are seeing in the list is the creativity. Creativity is another quality. Whatever the activity, whatever the job we do, we will be able to do that in a perfect way. Sometime back we were hearing about the beautiful example of making coffee, right? So that kind of skill will be developed within us. Whatever the activity we do, whatever the job we do, we will be able to do with our own kind of skill and our own touch. So that is what the quality creativity. So all these qualities will be increasing within us, which will be resulted in the total transformation of our personality, as I was mentioning earlier. So these are the benefits which we are getting through the practices. So by doing this practice effectively, we will be able to achieve the greatness in that step 2, which we are talking today. Okay, with this I will hand over back.
Thanks, Anandaraj sir.